Time for another Affinity Photo tutorial. This one's going to be a little bit of an in-depth one because we're going to learn how to colorize a black and white image. So we're going to go from this to this. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll take this group and delete it. And so we're just going to start off with just this black and white image. And we're going to do this by using shapes, masks, and the most important effect that we're going to use this to get realistic skin is a gradient map adjustment. In fact, that's the very first thing we're going to do. That's the way to get realistic skin. Now what I will do is I'll put up on the screen, there's a website called colorhex.com or color-hex.com, and they have a bunch of gradient maps and color schemes, and they have pre-made skin ones, because really when you look at skin, it's not all one color. You know, there are different shades or variations. So I'm going to show you what I mean right now. So the first thing we're going to do here is let's go ahead and duplicate this layer so we've got something to work with and we have the base layer to use for mask. So we'll go Command J and duplicate that layer, and we'll just turn off this bottom layer for now. So first thing we're going to do is come down here to our adjustments, and we're going to scroll on down to gradient map. And as you can see right now, we've got the red indicates shadows, green indicates midtones, and blue indicates highlights. So we're actually going to go a little more in depth to this. So, well, before we do this, let's delete that. We need to bring in our colors that we're going to use. So I went ahead and downloaded, there's a couple of them that I downloaded, but we're going to go ahead and place an image here, newskin.png. We're just going to place it up here in the corner for right now so we have reference colors. So again, we'll come back down to this layer, go into our adjustments, and come down to gradient map. So we'll take this first color, which again is the shadows, and we'll click on that color and the little color swatch, and let's grab the picker and drag over. Let's go ahead and drag over to this. Then we'll choose it, and you can see what's happening. So from there, we're going to insert another swatch here. Click on that, grab the picker, come on over to the second color, apply that. We'll grab this third one, swatch, picker, grab that third color, apply. We're going to get and insert another one here. Even though that last color is almost identical, it's actually not quite. So swatch, come on up here, grab that one, apply it, and then finally we'll grab this last one, same thing, swatch, and then picker, the very last one, and apply that. So if we look now, we need to change the blending mode on this to, let's go to soft light. Soft light. All right. So now that's taking up the whole picture and the background and his suit. Really, we just want to apply this to the skin. We really don't need this swatch up here anymore, so we'll go ahead and hide that for now. Let's come down to the gradient map, and let's add a mask to that, a layer mask. So by default, Affinity Photo gives you this white background. We're going to hit Command I on a Mac, and that's going to invert it. And then we're going to reset our color palette, come over to our brush. We're going to paint with white. So let's zoom in here a little bit, and we'll make sure that we are on our mask layer, painting with white. We'll make our brush size a little bit bigger, and I've got this, the hardness turned way down here. I'm going to bring the opacity up and bring the hardness up just a little bit, because this is a little time consuming. So what I'll do is I'll start off by showing you how we do this. And let's bring the brush size down, and then, okay, we're just going to start brushing around his skin. And at first it doesn't have to be perfect. You can go back in and amend this at any time since it is a mask. And for the sake of the tutorial, I'll stop talking now and speed this portion up. If at any time you need to take away from this, all you need to do is change the color to black, and now you can clean up anything that you messed up. And again, we're not going for perfection here right now because it's just a tutorial, but so you get the idea. So anyway, so there is our skin, and that looks pretty realistic already. So what we need to do next now is we need to constrain this whole adjustment that we made to this layer. So we're going to go and drag that down into there. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to color his eyes. So let's pick the color that we want for his eyes. We'll make them a blue. And we're going to grab the rectangle tool. And we're just going to draw a rectangle over his eyes like this. And that, you see, creates another pixel or another layer there. So we're going to go ahead and add a layer mask to that. And we will invert the mask with Command-I. And then we will reset our palette to black and white, and making sure that we're painting with a white brush. Also, probably what we want to do here is go ahead and change the blend mode over to soft light. All these blend modes will be soft light, by the way. And make sure we're painting on the mask with white. And zoom in real close. Make our brush a little bit smaller. And let's just go ahead and paint in on his eye. And we'll do this other eye as well. And you saw we painted over the pupil and the highlight. So what we'll do is we'll invert the colors to black. We'll make the brush a little bit smaller. Paint over that highlight and the black of the pupil. And we'll zoom back out. And so there are his eyes. And what's nice about this, that's a pretty intense blue, but we can come to this layer, and even though it's soft light, we can reduce the opacity some to make it a little more realistic. So we'll leave it right about there. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and do his hair. What we'll do next is we'll pick a color for the hair. We'll make it, he looks like he probably had light colored hair when he was younger. So pick something in the yellowish range there. And same thing, we're going to draw a rectangle over the top of his head. And we will add a layer mask to that. And we will Command-I, invert that layer mask. We're going to make sure that that layer is soft light. Make sure that we're painting on the mask with white. So we'll grab our brush and we'll zoom in a little bit here on his hair, increase the size of the brush, and make sure that we get that portion that's on the skin as well, or else it won't blend nicely. And again, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to speed up this painting process just a little bit so you don't get too bored. And we'll switch back to black so that we can adjust the mask a little bit there, blend it in with the skin a little bit better. We can bring the hardness down some, that'll help. All right, so there's his hair. And again, we're not gonna be perfect right now. You can spend as much time on this as you want. So I think you're starting to get the gist of this now, what we're doing here. So next we need to move on to his jacket. So again, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to pick a color. I believe I used a brown for his jacket in the original. So I'll make like a dark brown here. And we will add in a rectangle to cover his jacket and add a layer mask. Invert the mask. Change the blending mode for the layer to soft light. Reset our colors, grab our brush, make sure we're painting on the layer mask, on the layer mask itself. Let's go ahead and zoom in. We'll make our brush a little bit bigger. And need to make sure that this is on soft light. That's normal. All right, so we're going to start painting in his jacket. I'm definitely getting messy here at this point because, again, I don't want to keep you glued to your screen forever. As much as I enjoy doing this. And we'll invert, clean it up. Okay, and then all we have left is his shirt. So we will, actually, no, let's clean up his shirt here. Because we got a little bit of the suit color on there. So you can see how easy this is, and you can go in and change things at any time. All right, that's done. Last thing we do is pick a shirt color. We'll make it like an off-white. And we'll draw our rectangle there. Give it a layer mask. Invert the mask. So as you can see, very repetitive here, but very easy to do. Reset our color palette to black and white. Make sure we're painting in white with our brush. Make sure this layer, entire layer, is on soft light. And then come back to the mask. Now we can zoom in and start painting his shirt. And you can get fancy. I mean, if you want to be super careful and not hit the buttons, or make his buttons a different color, that's perfectly all right. But you can get as detailed as you want. I'm just trying to give you the methods to do this where you get an understanding of how the tools work. And again, if we overran some areas here, get rid of it. So yeah, very down and dirty tutorial. And again, if we group these, and we'll turn on our bottom layer again, and just, so we went from this to this. Anyway, I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. Please think about subscribing if you want to see more tutorials like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace. Talk to you later. Bye.